Here's my thing with T Mac and the whole panel. Well, I'm gonna just talk about T Mac. Like at the end of the day, you was part of that Doc Rivers 3-1 lead teams.
Yep.
You was up 3-1 twice, and you never got out the first round. Now, I don't diminish that on any player because his playoff number was great at the end of the day. He did all he could do, but at the same time, I mean, we all know We all know you'll win one with Shaq. You'll probably win one with Tim Duncan. But it just I'm tired of this ring conversation. I mean, put somebody on the panel that actually got a ring. No, what I'm saying. We got a guy that blew through a 3-1 lead twice, a guy who ruined his career driving a motorcycle, and another guy who pulled a gun in the locker room. Talking about
Right.
ring culture.
It's
Gilbert
kind
Arenas don't
of
even
too
know
late
what
for that
culture
now,
is.
man. I mean, yeah, it's
Hey,
too late to wallow up
I'm
in
not
your
diminishing
misery
these
about not getting a
players
ring.
for what they did individually, but it's like, man, you either got it or you don't.
I
Right.
just I just think you want champions. Speaking on champions at that time, at a
That's what
particular
I'm
time.
saying.
Well, I mean, like let's take a look into the future. And are we going to hear John Morant say, "Oh, I could have won this and I could have won this MVP"? But I mean, look how irresponsible John Morant was with the guns and the Instagram stories and all that. And how many? Take a look at Zion Williamson. I mean, with his diet and such. Are they dedicated to their craft like LeBron James was, especially in those years in Cleveland and Miami, like how Shea is now, maybe those guys in Denver and Boston and so on. So I'm not saying that McGrady was irresponsible by seeking out big dollars, but it is tired. Like I'm with most. Like I'm so tired of I could have done this and I could have been a star if put me into the league now, and I could have completely run the league, and nobody cares what could have happened.
Right. Nobody ain't really thinking about that right now. D Bish, man, better late than never. Mister always late.
Got caught up in stuff for that.
I
Making a
feel
grand
you. I feel you.
appearance.
So man, we were talking about T Mac, and I don't know you heard what he said about him not winning the championship. That he felt like he could have won if he was playing with Shaq and the Lakers. You think so?
I mean, I think he could have, but I don't think that's an excuse. I don't know if anybody mentioned it already, but I remember that Rockets team he had with Yao, Ray for Austin, that dude from Spain.
Luis Scola.
Luis Scola, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Man,
Luis Scola. Dang.
crazy post player.
Yeah. So
Footwork.
I don't think he made it out the first round with them even. And that was a pretty good squad. So I don't think I don't think that's an excuse. I mean, in the early 2000s, before probably 2003, 2004, you put almost any good all-star or superstar caliber guard with Shaq, he's gonna make it easy for you. But yeah, I think it's an excuse. He didn't win a championship. He was a pretty good player. It's unfortunate injuries cut his career a little short. And it's definitely unfortunate that the year he would have won a championship, Ray Allen hit that F3. Yeah, man, I'm tired of hearing it. I think most of the players should be like Charles Barkley and be like, hey, I had a good career. I didn't win one. It is what it is. It doesn't, take away from the player I am and move on. There's nothing you can do about it now.
Yeah, it's weird that you bring it up now because he usually don't talk like that. He usually don't really. So I wondered if somebody get underneath his skin where he had to come out and say what he need to say. But who knows? You're right.
I'm pretty sure it bothers him. Like you was part of that up 3-1 teams, and you couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
And it hurts that the fact that they couldn't get Tim Duncan that summer. Man, he hurt, man. But
All they had to do was just let the man wife on the plane. I mean,
that's all he had to
I
do.
said my wife.
that was on top. That was on
that's all
top.
they had to do.
I would have cleaned up the seat. Like, man, y'all can sit right there. You know,
Sit right there in the front, or y'all want the back. Which
yeah,
one?
exactly. That's
You want
it.
mine? You want my seat?
That's what
So,
I'm saying.
all right. So the big trade went down Sunday. Who sent to our group chat? Was it you, Dustin, that sent that KD trade?
Nah,
It
that
was
man.
one of y'all. It might have been Tyler, but Kevin Durant was traded to the Rockets, and Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks was sent to the Suns with the number 10 pick in the 2025 NBA draft and 5 second-round picks. In Gatwood's words, we fleeced them. That's what he said. He's excited. Flowers, man. Your thoughts on KD and the Rockets?
It's not a shocker. I mean, I was in the chat after the Rockets lost. I was saying they're gonna go get KD or Booker, one of the two, and they ended up getting KD. I mean, I said they give up Jalen. I mean, the trade kind of went high, kind of prescribed. I can go back and show you this too.
Yep, you said it. You said it.
I mean, I said you had to give up Jalen Green. You keep, some of them young guys. They gave away the 10 pick and 5 second rounders. The Suns devalue Kevin Durant's trade value as far as losing for the past 2 years, and he's 37. I wouldn't want to give up the house, the car, the dog, and the kids for Kevin Durant either. But I will throw y'all this curve. Before I got on the pod, I did see that the Cleveland Cavaliers offered Darius Garland straight up with Kevin Durant. I did see that. I was like, oh man, look, I'm surprised Phoenix didn't take it because that solves a problem for them. They need a point guard. They need a point guard. Darius Garland would have been perfect for them, and KD would have been pretty damn near perfect for the Cavs. Because they needed somebody like that. So that's not a bad trade. But hey, he wanted to go to Houston. He wanted to be somewhere in Texas. I think Spurs was his first choice. Does it put the Rockets over the needle? I'm not going to say that. I think that he gives them some consistency as far as scoring. They hang their hat on defense, but I'm just not sitting here. I'm not going to sit up here and say that right there is going to put the Houston Rockets over the hump when I'm looking at teams like Oklahoma City, Spurs,
Denver,
like Denver retools. So I'm saying it's so much going on in the Wild Wild West. Of course, it's always been like this with the West for the past 30, 40 years. With the West, it's always been this. I think I said 2 weeks ago I'd rather seen them in Minnesota or New York. The Eastern Conference is wide open right now. If I'm a superstar, I am trying to get to the Eastern Conference because that is a road less taken right now. But I don't think Houston gave up too much, like 5 second round picks. I don't even think Phoenix got their draft rights back from Houston. So it had to be done on Phoenix's end. They're not going to hold on to Jalen Green. So maybe they try to flip him for a young point guard. We'll see what happens.
Yes, indeed. Neil, like Flowers mentioned, did it move the needle for the Rockets?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think so. Now, look, does it move them to, as far as we think making it to a championship? I don't know about all that, but certainly it moved the needle significantly for them as a serious team. Now, look, KD's, we all know, advanced stage, all that type of stuff. Great player. I'm not the biggest KD fan. I'm of the mindset that KD has been a little bit overrated as an all-time player. People say top 20 got all-time. Look, he doesn't have the elite winner, that intangible of winning inside of him, that leadership, that winning mentality. I never saw it from KD. He had to go to Golden State, who already had that in place, to win. He's a great player, though. He's a great player offensively and whatnot. But I do think that this was a great move by Houston. Some people have been hearing that Phoenix won the deal. I don't know where they're coming from because everything that Kevin Durant does well and still does well is exactly what the Rockets were weak at.
Mhm.
And whatever the Rockets are strong at covers up for KD's age and whatever his weaknesses are. So it's actually a great match, in my opinion. I mean, they needed a closer, man. Too many times I saw these Rockets just like discombobulated at the end of games, not knowing what the heck they're supposed to do. They need the closer like KD who can come in. He can relax a little bit. These other guys, these young guns, they can go off and they can do most of the work. A lot of nights they can do all the work. KD won't have to do too much, but they're going to need him to come in there, score, get his easy shots. Not certainly not work as hard as he had to in Phoenix, because man, he was putting miles on his body. It seemed like every night in Phoenix, trying to will these guys back in a lot of these games. So for me, I thought that Houston did very well by not actually giving up much that they're going to miss. I mean, Jalen Green, I don't see him as a winning player. I see his ceiling as maybe a pretty good sixth man of the year candidate in the future. That's my opinion of Jalen Green. Like, maybe I'll be totally wrong about that, but Dylan Brooks, they got other guys that can hold down and lock down the defensive anchors, such as M.N. Thompson, who's, in my opinion, is a future superstar.
Mhm.
And they got guys waiting in the wings already, so they don't really need that draft. But they got Cam Whitmore, who's been pining for some more playing time. He's a nice young player.
Mhm.
They don't need that 10th pick. They already got like the lottery pick that's waiting to come up in Cam Whitmore. So to me, all these young Rockets, they got the playoff experience. They were the second seed. They showed a lot of growth. And M.N. Thompson and Şengün in particular showed a lot of growth as far as their future starhood prosperities or stardom prosperities. And so it seems like the perfect time to make this move. Katie's got a coach that he's going to respect in Udoka.
Mhm.
And so I like the move, man, because it's for them. They don't got to pay none of those guys until Katie's out the door. So just pay the guy now, see what you can do, build off his experience, and take it from there. It was a good move by the Rockets.
Yes, indeed. Well, we saw a video of KD. He looking surprised that he got traded. I don't know if he looked pleased or not. He didn't really show the emotion. Randy, do you think KD wanted to be somewhere else?
Well, I mean, Phoenix was what 10 games under 500, so anything. I'm sure that he wouldn't mind change the scenery. I know KD is who he is, but I don't know if this is a lock. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a quote winner or loser of this trade. And the reason why I say that is, I caught. I can't remember if it was ESPN, but the Rockets are going to decline Fred VanVleet's player option for next year. So if you don't have a point guard, to lead Houston, then what's Houston going to be? And with a soon to be 38-year-old Kevin Durant, are we just too married and just too in love with what they did in the past? I'm completely with Neil that Kevin Durant didn't have that leader mentality he had to Golden State. I completely get it. But KD was one of the best players in the league, but that was a decade ago. I mean, his best years are probably Oklahoma City. So I don't know if it's going to be that much of a difference maker. I personally would be shocked if Houston does make a conference finals or NBA finals next year.
I can see him making the conference finals. I mean, I'm not going to short him, Randy, because, I mean, Durant gave you 26, 27 last year. He's still efficient. He's probably still damn near 50, 40, 90 guy. So I'm with you when we all say that Kevin Durant is not an alpha. Kevin Durant just wants to be KD. He wants to come in, do his thing, go home. Cool with that. In this point of his career, he needs to be with somebody that, like you say, you can just put him in. He can be himself. He can come in, do his job. He doesn't have to be the guy. I just think Kevin, like as time went on, we found that out about Kevin Durant, that he's laid back guy. He's not trying to be out front. He just comes to do his jobs. That's one thing I've always admired about him. But it's time for him to kind of dial it back. He's not. He doesn't need to be your number one guy. He needs to be a complimentary piece, a great complimentary piece, of course.
But I mean,
Well,
and he's making over $50 million. So I mean, like you're not going to be able to be a complimentary piece when you're making that kind of scratch. Like, I just don't see him being that much of a difference maker anymore. I mean, you were kind of alluding to that as well, Flowers. But yeah, I mean, at that kind of money, and maybe he might. I don't know. Might be his last contract. Like, is he going to resign? I doubt it. But yeah, just to be a complimentary piece on a team like Houston, I mean, like
yeah.
Şengün, is he going to be that difference maker? Şengün, I don't see it.
I'm
So
quite sure Houston is expecting the men to take a step. I think that's probably one of the things that they're batting on is for Amen Thompson to ascend. I'm quite sure they probably bring Fleet back unless they find somebody cheaper. You know, they say they need a point guard.
yeah. So that's a good question y'all brought up about KD not really want to be that guy. He's clearly the oldest person on the team. So Mose, man, who would be that? He brought up a
Actually,
man.
you know what's funny about that?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Green is on the team, and he is 2 years older
Right.
at 38.
So Mose, who would be that alpha? I mean, you need a leader. Who would be the leader of that young core?
Head
I mean,
coach.
you still got Fred VanVleet and a guy like Steven Adams. You know, they still a pretty young team. Look, Houston brought KD in because they needed a consistent scorer. So you go get that with him. You don't necessarily need KD to lead the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have the other players on that team that could lead. And especially if you have a player like Amen Thompson, who I'm pretty sure is going to keep on improving. So, shoot, in my opinion, if they do bring Fred VanVleet back, you got players like him, Steven Adams, you got Amen Thompson. Kind of give it up, kind of trust your young core to figure things out. It's gonna take about a few years, but I think eventually they in the right direction.
So KD is their SGA. They got a whole bunch of pieces. They just need somebody to step up the right time, right moments, and do it for them, huh?
Well, he's just a part of the equation that Udoka is building. I mean that's who they lean on if we want to be real. That they had on defense this year. That's a reflection of the coach.
Look,
So they don't need Kevin Durant to bark at them. Hell, that's what they got Mecca Udoka for.
right.
So KD ain't barking at anybody. Dustin, man. We saw the Suns make this trade. They had like 10 guards on their team. Um, what you do with the Suns? What how would you manage the Suns right now?
The Suns just got to start over. They just got to start over. They just got to go from scratch. The Suns, yeah, they have the whole Bradley Beal KD experiment. I don't even know why they did that after they saw like how everything in Brooklyn turned out. And especially they kind of did the whole big three thing. Is that trend was starting to end. I don't know what they were thinking. I still don't know does anybody know what they're gonna do with Bradley Beal?
He got
What
a
their
no
plan
trade
is?
clause.
No
I
trade
heard they're
clause.
gonna buy him
He-
out. I heard they're gonna
Oh
buy him
yeah,
out.
I wouldn't be shocked if they bought him. I mean, because
I would
if he doesn't want to get traded, I mean they're gonna have to
That's what I'm trying to
buy
say.
him out.
This situation is, what does Bradley Beal want to do with them? Like,
Well,
I mean,
he's got a player option for 57.1 mil.
he ain't declining
He's
that.
not
At
about to
26,
climb.
27. Hell no, of course not. No. So yeah, he's staying in Phoenix.
Well,
Well, he's not going to get bought out for sure.
the Suns. I mean, if I was Suns, I'd just do what I can. They're not going to be a contender anytime soon until they can get rid of that Bradley Beal contract.
You guys think they should trade?
I feel bad for D-Book.
You guys think they
yeah,
should?
that's what I'm about to say. if you D book, how frustrated are you right now?
He's
Like,
not.
is
He's
it
about to
time to
get
go?
$70 million a year. He ain't frustrated.
Yeah, fair enough.
I say true.
Yeah,
At
you're
least
right. They new kids don't want to win like that.
I mean, think about it. I said I'm not knocking D Book, but I mean he's been to the finals. I mean,
that's
hey,
what I
he
mean.
said he wants to be
Like
there.
D Book, like his projection. D Book had been to finals. We thought he was going to, eventually. I thought he was going to win a chip before Jason Tatum. To be honest with you, he had that 70-point game. I thought as a player, I thought he'd be much more than what he is right now. I thought he'd have many more career accolades than he does right now, based on how he was earlier in his career. Honestly, if I'm D Book and I'm looking at my legacy, I'd want to get away from the Suns and go somewhere where I could be a good contender for a championship, because like he really plateaued after they got to the NBA finals that year.
Yeah, if I
Well,
was
I mean,
Phoenix,
I definitely think Phoenix is a lot better with after this trade. I mean, are they going to make the play in? Are they going to threaten for a playoff spot? I mean, with Brooks and Jalen Green, you got an additional player that could bring some value to the team. So, maybe you're one legit piece away, or maybe you're a couple of role players away.
yeah, Randy,
Maybe if I was
I'm gonna have to
I
disagree
don't
with
know,
you there.
Randy.
I think they're a lot worse,
Well,
actually.
I got a question. Who would be who do you guys think would be the number 2 now? Would
There's
it
no
be
peace, man. In
Jalen
my opinion, they're lost.
I think it'd be Jalen Green.
or Bradley
But
Beal?
We saw Jalen
Yeah,
Green
they're
be
saying they're gonna
confused
trade
and up and
Green.
down.
They're
Yeah,
talking about rerouting Jalen Green. They're not gonna keep him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pair Jalen Green with
If I was
like,
Phoenix, man, I would take the emotion out of it and I would trade D Book at an all-time high value that he's
I
going to
would
have.
too.
right. Yeah,
If he's
trade
gonna
while it's
have
high. The
value
value's
this
high.
high. Right now, people still
Yes.
look at him and say, "Oh, he could be a first-team All-NBA type guy, possibly the right situation. He's still elite." But after this year, if they let it play out in Phoenix, who the heck knows what his value is going to be after this? If they were smart, they'd go full in on this rebuild. Trade D Book, do right by him if you can, but get the biggest load you can back. And because the West is about to be loaded with all these teams we just mentioned: Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, OKC, of course, Minnesota, all these teams.
Mhm.
Like, what does Phoenix have in the next 5 years? They got no shot at doing nothing special. So you might as well prepare for when those teams are past their hill, in my opinion. If you were Phoenix right now, that's what you want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so
Like
Jalen
20
Green being 23, he I don't know. Maybe you guys have more of an idea of what Jalen Green can offer, but I don't think he's hit his ceiling yet.
I think he's
So
at his ceiling. I mean, he's been
you
playing
do.
he's been in the league for a few years now. In my opinion, Randy, when you get into the playoffs, this is a part to where, well, in my opinion, you see players when they ascend or they plateau. He didn't ascend. His game didn't evolve. I was expecting. I seen Sengun evolve. I seen a man evolve. Fred, he's
Eason.
champion. He's a champion. He showed up. Jalen Green was too inconsistent when they needed him to be consistent. I was on here a few months ago saying they're paying this kid almost $200 million for what? And I'm not trying to count this kid's pockets, but all I'm saying is if you're paying someone that kind of money, there's a expected consistency that comes with the role, and he didn't provide it. That's why he's gone.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
that's what we saw in the playoffs. We saw Gatwood very frustrated with
Man,
Jalen Green
don't be
performance.
hard on the kid, man.
I'm
He got that
Hey,
cooler at
he got
home.
a
I
sugar
mean,
mom,
and he
man. He
averages
he
20.
can take all of it. He can
Hold on
take
now.
any
He
criticism.
got
Let
that
me say
Get
this.
cooler.
Let me
thrown
say
at him.
this. Because I will never get on here and throw anybody under the bus, but I have to call things like I see it. The kid can play ball, don't get me wrong, but you have superstars, you have stars, and you have the up and comers, and he's somewhere in between the up and comer and a star, and it's more of the up and coming side. He hasn't ascended. He needs to take the next step. And I don't think you can knock me for saying I want to see this guy evolve. Hell, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, you wanted to see Kakarot and Company turn into a damn Super Saiyan. We need Jalen Green to become a Super Saiyan. We need him to
I
ascend.
don't. I
I
don't
don't see
think,
that.
but I
I
don't
don't
think
see
we'll.
it. I
I don't
see
think
him
we'll
being
see
a
that
really
with the
good Trevor
Suns.
Ariza.
That's
Honestly,
fine. And that's gonna get him what
you get Trevor
$300
Ariza.
million in his career. Do you
That's
want to
fine.
be a champion? Is my question.
Yeah, I see him being playing a role for a team that's like a really good sixth man, like a Lou Williams, like a Jamal Crawford, maybe at his peak, maybe not even Jamal Crawford, maybe like a Jason Terry someday when he's a veteran, older. But he's never going to be the number one or even the number two on a title team, in my opinion. And I don't even know if he's a winning player the way he's so inefficient in today's game. Yeah, Phoenix got to get something for him, I hope, and I just don't know what team he'd fit on. And for that matter, yeah, Phoenix just needs to rebuild.
And it's gonna be a crazy offseason for the
Yeah,
NBA. It's
sure.
gonna be a lot of moving parts going on, especially for some of these teams that compete for a championship. Everybody trying to get key pieces now, so I expect some more trades to go down. So
Oh yeah.
Jenny Buss, what you say, Flowers?
I said, oh yeah, a whole lot more trades coming.
Mm-mm. Jeannie Buss, the controlling owner for the Los Angeles Lakers, have agreed to sell the majority stake to Mark Walter. I believe he's the owner of the Dodgers, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
that's correct.
The Lakers' value was approximately $10 billion. End of an era, right?
May I
The Buss
start this one?
era. Yes, you
Because
can.
I have a question for Neil and Randy because y'all are older, and I mean that respectfully. Now, when Dr. Bus died, I recall Jenny and her brothers having a court battle, right, for
Yeah,
ownership of the Lakers
I
because
think there was
didn't the
a there
brothers
was
want to
a
say? Didn't the brothers want to sell and Jenny wanted to keep, right?
Yes.
Okay.
sounds about right. Yeah, there was a ESPN feature, wasn't there, Neil? Was it a Beyond the Glory or E60 piece on the
There
Buss
could have
family?
been. I do know that she was the primary force keeping the team within the family.
She
Yeah.
wanted to keep the team in the family. I just think it's ironic that she fought her brothers to keep, the team with the Bus family, and what 12, 15 years later she sells it.
Well, I mean, by holding on to it, she probably gained about
The
another
you know
$6 billion.
of course the value from then to now of course doubled, of
Sure.
course.
Yeah.
That I look, if somebody offered me $10 billion for a team that my father bought for what, how much did he buy the Lakers for? What, like 600?
67 million or
Yeah,
60.
But
$67. Yeah,
$20.
plus you get to keep 15%.
right. I know. It was kind of the irony in it because can we true? I only feel that way because I don't know if Dr. Bus would have sold the team if he was alive. I just don't. I don't think he would have. That's so. And I feel like he left the legacy, of the Lakers to his daughter because this is my opinion, because I felt like he felt like she wouldn't sell that team. That's just my opinion, though. Like I said, I'm not knocking that she sold it. I
No,
just
for sure.
remember. I just remember the battle for about 12, 13 years. Maybe she was thinking ahead of her time. Like, hey, maybe I can get some more value for the Lakers and sell them down the road. Maybe that was a whole game plan all along. I don't know, but I just feel like Dr. Buzz left her in charge because I just think that the way he loved the Lakers, I thought that she loved the Lakers the same and she wouldn't sell it.
The way she ran the Lakers in that group, man, they didn't love the Lakers. They didn't love them. That's why that's why they got out of it. It don't sit right with me, man. That team been in that family for a good long time, and it just end of an era. I hate to see it end like that of her
Look,
selling her
you got a
for
great
money.
owner. Look, I'm not gonna knock it
I
now.
know,
But look,
yeah, yeah.
that's a great owner that bought the team now.
But it just, man, it's just the Bus family. You had the Yankees owner with what's it,
Oh, you
Steinbrenner
talking about Steinbrenner?
Yeah,
family.
I was
Yeah,
just going to
like it's
bring that
just
up.
these
Yeah.
long history of families owning some of these teams, these historic franchises that just bring that aura and glory to that team, man. So it's just like,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Somebody offered $10 billion to buy
10
something.
billion. That's a lot of
Take
money.
it.
10
I
billion.
don't know, man.
And
You
then
gotta
I get to
love
stay
something.
on and be the
That's
governor
man, but
too.
it's like
10,
man, it's
hold
almost
on.
like your
Hold on.
podcast,
10
Randy.
no,
Like
man.
hold on. 10 billion and 15%.
mhm.
10
It's
billion
just,
and
man,
15%.
it's something that it's like a family heirloom. You know, it been in the family for a long time.
Yeah,
You hate to
that was
see
my
it go.
only thing. That was my only thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but and play devil's advocate here, but maybe the connection with the Lakers, like you had all those longtime Lakers, you had the Worthies and the Magics and the Kareems, and then the next generation was Shaq and Kobe, and maybe there was a disconnect between the Bust family and those old school Lakers, and I mean, obviously, as we've all said, how are you going to deny $10 billion for something that your pops
You got an offer that you
grew?
But y'all forgot the main person that might come in within this deal.
Oh, man.
Magic
No
Johnson.
doubt.
Yeah.
He's somewhere back there pulling strings now, of course.
Magic Johnson, part owner of the Dodgers already. I mean, it's,
You probably put
I-
them in the room together.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Now I would be okay if Magic
Magic got a
Johnson
hand on
took over the Lake. I would be okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But
And he owns the part of the Dodgers with
Yeah.
the same guy. So one only assumes that if he wants a little piece of the Lakers, he gonna get it.
yeah, I bet RC happy to see Jeannie Buss go. That's all I really want to hear talk about this, because he do not like the owners of the organization, because he feel like they made some questionable moves, man. And they made a lot of questionable moves over the years that
when
put
you
us
get
in
into the
predicament.
LeBron sweepstakes, I mean, you kind of say you sell your soul.
Yeah.
I think I've said on here before. LeBron has diminished the Lakers brand with just LeBron's brand. Alone. It's never like it should never be that a player is big. I gotta bring up the NFL again, because no one player is bigger than the organization, that he plays for with the NFL, and it should be the same way in the NBA. You can admire what LeBron James is doing and has done. Yeah, we're gonna cherish LeBron James forever, but the Lakers, it has to be like how the Yankees oral is always the Yankees. Like nobody's bigger than the Yankees.
Look,
It got to be there for the Lakers also. I mean, it's there for the Celtics. It's got to be there for the Lakers.
and let me add on to that, Flowers. Like, to me, I felt like the Lakers weren't really the Lakers no more. The moment the moment they changed the
Staples to
name.
crypto.
Every team, regardless of sports, it's like when you think of the Green Bay Packers, you think about Lambeau Field, or you think about Soldier Field, Fenway, all these stadiums, and it's like, I don't know, these names are important because they are part of your history. And as soon as the name changed for me, it just, it's just not part of history no more. It just doesn't hit the same. Cryptocurrency just doesn't hit the same.
You know what did it
Right.
most? I got to tell you, what did it for me was having the white Laker jerseys, the white Laker jerseys instead of the gold and the purple. I was like,
Talking about the Sunday alternates. Come on, man.
yeah.
Hey, Randy, I have a white jersey. Come on, you don't like
but
those?
I mean, that goes against the tradition. I mean, more than the name of the arena. Like, I mean, are you gonna want to see a Yankees jersey with no pinstripes? You know what I mean? Like it's that white jersey. I don't know. I thought that was a bigger deal. I mean, like now these days, of course, you have all the City Connect jerseys, and
but they got
you
black.
got black. They got black and everything. But I mean, that white Laker jersey that's been around before Kobe changed his jersey number to 24. So it's been around for a while.
Jersey.
I think there's another reason. It's a small reason maybe, but why NFL is king. And even me in Canada, I think NFL is king, and there's no question about it. But you got all these teams that are staying in the family. They go through the generations. They got that culture that starts from the top down. Pittsburgh and the Mara family and all these different families doing it. The Chiefs, Hunt family. So I think you don't. It's rare to see that these days in like the NBA. It's more of a business decision, not a family decision.
And
And the NFL, you got a business too.
And hockey does it well. Hockey does it well for like tradition and history. Like, it's easier to follow because you have some sort of connection, like with whatever team you rooting for. You know what I'm saying? Hockey does a good job with that.
Yeah, I think that's why we always talk about rivalry talks, because we feel like there's no more rivalries in the NBA. Where when the Lakers play against Celtics, that meant something. Like everybody watching that game, but now they play again, like, oh, we'll skip over this. It ain't nothing important. So it's like NBA lost a lot of its aura, to be honest. With all the
I think there's also something. There's also something about the television viewership because, yeah, sure. I'm probably the elder statesman of the group here, and when I was a little kid, there was only so many times where the Leafs were really the only team in town. I mean, during the winter, Raptors weren't around until I was a teenager. But out of the 82 games in the hockey season, you only saw 40 plus games, and now we see every single game from every single team. And maybe 35 years ago, you don't see your favorite team play every single time, right? And now we take it for granted because we could just go on NBA, our respective NBA packages. We could go on YouTube and catch all the highlights. We don't even need to see the whole game. We just see a segment of the good stuff that took place, right? So maybe that has something to do with the denigration of rivalries, and as Mos was saying.
Yeah, I think so too. And also the players being more friendly than usual. Mm-hmm. They hang out after the game. They trade jerseys. They talk about whatever they talk about. Come to play Call of Duty with me tonight on stream. They screaming together. It's just
sure they.
Yeah,
I hate to play conspiracy theory on this one, but isn't it possible that Jordan and Patrick Ewing grabbed a steak during the summertime? Like, okay, Dream Team.
That's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
I mean, Jordan hung out
all season.
Everybody.
All season is fine.
Had their reputation, but Jordan mostly did it in a kind of conniving, deceitful fashion.
Yes.
Well, he did it in an era without social media.
He was really a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
He learned all your secrets by hanging out with you.
He gives you the drinks, you pay for the drinks, and you give him dirt.
He gives you all the gets all the details. I mean, I really do wonder how much more buddy things are now, and obviously, and it's because of social media. But 40 years ago, 50 years ago, if social media was around, is it really that much of a difference? I mean, like Charles Barkley and say Isaiah Thomas, maybe grabbing a beer after the game or something like that. I'm sure that these guys were boys. 40,
I don't know about after the game. I don't know about after the game.
During the summer.
During the summer,
I say that because during the summer, but I say no because how they be talking to each other. They be saying some crazy things when Jordan play against Isaiah and Larry Bird and Magic. They used to talk crazy to each other.
So Isaiah may be a bad example.
There's no way I'm talking to you
Isaiah's
after the
a
game.
bad example.
Isaiah's a bad. Okay, but fine.
We've heard stories of MJ, having drinks with a guy like the night before, a couple of days before. Like I said, Patrick Ewing was a great example. They were friends. Mm-hmm. So they would, like I said, I'm quite sure they would rendezvous, a day or two before the game. But look, as soon as the game, I just think as soon as the games came on back in the day prior to now, and I'm not going to disrespect last night because those guys competed last night.
Yeah.
Sure. But I just think we got spoiled in the past 15 years with AAU, everybody being buddy. I just think that's what we're used to right now. But I'm quite sure those guys back in the day, like I say, before the game, two nights they played cards, they had drinks or whatever. But when it was time to play, they played. And we didn't question it.
Yeah, we did.
And I think very quickly, just with the new age of these stars coming into the league, Swift. I mean, you could see a certain hunger in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, and is that going to continue? With are we going to see less and less load management? I think it's a possibility for sure.
Yeah,
and
I think so too.
that's what the NBA needs.
Yeah, that's why I think the OKC and Pacers was really good for the NBA. A lot of people don't think so, but I really enjoy. It's been a while since I enjoyed the finals like that. Let's go over to some WNBA. So they always in the news for the wrong reasons, like just in the wrong reasons. So I have a video to show y'all. Angel Reese trademark Me Bounds.
Oh, that's what I'd say. Whoever came up with the Me Bounds thing, y'all ate that up, because rebounds, me bounds, key bounds, anything that comes off that board, it's mine. it's mine. And a brand, that's 6 figures right there. Whoever came up with that, the trolling, I love when y'all do it, because like the ideas be good. Like when y'all have to alter my face and shit, because I'm cute. All right, whatever. Like that doesn't get me. But like when y'all came up with Me Bounds, because statistically, all the rebounds that I get aren't always just mine. They're like the defenses too, or somebody else's on my team. But when y'all came up with Me Bounds, y'all ate one little thing. Janine, we're working. We're gonna work with that. But yeah, happy game day.
I'm kind of a little speechless because I don't know.
I didn't really understand what the hell she was saying, but I mean, like,
I don't know what she was on. Maybe she had some coffee, some espresso, but she was barely.
What was she saying? Is she mad because like?
No, I think she was saying
rebound stats.
Because
I think
it seemed like people are trolling her for pad statting yeah.
She getting.
She grabbed
her own misses pretty much. Like he's saying Me Bounds.
Andre Blatch.
So
all I have to say is that all she could have said was, "Whoever thought of Me Bounds, you just got me paid." Boom.
Yeah,
that's the end of the video. Left it at that.
That's why that's why I think it bothers her. Y'all think she paying too much attention to social media and what's going on, what she hearing? Let's start with you, Dustin. You think she's bothered by Me Bounds?
She's clearly bothered. But I think that she I think that Angel Reese is one of those players who's more in love with the fame than the game. I think she makes way more headlines for something she's doing on social media or a podcast rather than what she's doing on the basketball court. What was this, her second year in the league?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any improvement. I did have the opportunity to see her play at LSU in a preseason game. I wasn't impressed seeing it close up. She can only go left. She's a horrible free throw shooter. 0 footwork. Lisa Leslie was 100% spot on when she said that she needs to work on her layups. I didn't see anything particularly impressive or skillful about her game. She is athletic, and she does. To get rebounds, you have to put in some effort, so I'll give her that. But other than that, I wasn't impressed. I haven't seen any growth in her game. I think she needs a dose of humble pie, because the reality is she isn't on a Caitlin Clark level, nowhere near her level, in a matter of fact. So I think she should just be quiet, get in the gym, and let her game speak instead of making a TikTok video or Instagram reel, whatever that was.
I'm glad you brought up Clayton Clark, because a lot of people blaming Caitlin for this, all the negativity toward Angel Reese. Flowers, do you think Caitlin Clark is the reason why Angel is getting all the hate and that people are wrong about her?
No, I don't think Caitlin Clark is the sole reason people hate on Angel Reese. You've heard me say quite a few times on here. I don't think Angel Reese's number one obligation is basketball. It needs to be because she has all the tools in the world and she can be something special. I see it. Um, I mean, look, Dustin's right. Look, she's what 6'3". Takes effort to be able to out hustle these people and get these rebounds. I understand that she's missing these layups and stuff. That's one thing she needs to work on. She needs to work on, in my opinion, she needs to get more consistent on from about what 10 to 15 foot. Get a nice touch under the rim. I've seen her for the past 2 games hit a 3-point shot. I just think she just needs to focus on becoming a better basketball player instead of worrying about being an influencer, a model, because all that stuff's down the road for her. She's so young. I just think she needs to focus on what supposedly is her love of basketball. Like I say, if basketball is truly what you love and what you want to do, focus on that. Because I see so much talent in Angel Reese, and I feel like she's wasting it because she's not taking things serious. I will say this though, just to give her some kind of praise in a sense. She started off the season terrible, but for the past week, she's been playing better. And it just goes to show you if she focused more on basketball, on the basketball side of things, she wouldn't have to wait a month to figure out some things and to get on a better foot. She could be further along and that team could be better. She just needs to work harder. That's it.
I wonder if part of it is that she's going to be tied now to Caitlin Clark for her whole career because they came in the league together. They battled in college at the highest level together. I mean, she won a championship and Caitlin Clark did not. So she may have this somewhat of a delusion of grandeur that she somehow should be on the same level as Caitlin Clark, even though everyone knows that she don't got the game that Caitlin Clark has to warrant that type of, label. But so maybe part of it is that she sees that Caitlin Clark and is getting all this whatever attention, endorsements, money off the court, this and that. And so maybe part of that is getting to Angel Reese's head a little bit, that she's trying to reach those, kind of catch up maybe, or get hers. And it's maybe taken away a little bit from her on the court kind of ability, like Flowers was saying. I wonder if that's part of it.
Yes,
I gotta say. Oh, sorry, Swift. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just about to say, she probably needs to stay off social media for right now, especially how Chicago Sky is their record is looking like. So it's not a good look for her just talking about things that going on with her and Caitlin. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I mean, well, that part I agree with. I mean, the Sky are terrible. I get it, but she's averaging a double-double. So I mean, that's pretty good.
Me bounds. That's where it is.
But without the me bounds, she's averaging 10.5 rebounds without the me bounds. If you wanted to.
If she is stat pat, like I haven't caught a lot of Sky games or Angel Reese. Like if she is stat padding, okay, what have you. But if she found something that could, garner some attention and some revenue and so on, like I kind of like it. I mean, if she's getting dogged at by I mean, I think that female athletes really do have a hard time because they either are, if they have the skill and the talent, they're really they get trolled at from their looks, and then they get trolled at from the skill altogether. And it is tough to be a female athlete, especially in this day and age. Now, maybe ironically enough, maybe it's the best time to be a female athlete because there is an opportunity to make a substantial living. But if there's an opportunity for any athlete, female athlete especially, to create a brand and generate a revenue, get more of a name, I mean, You guys tell me, like, does Angel Reese get a raw deal and gets criticized a hell of a lot more? Because Caitlin Clark, I mean, her team was 500 last year.
Still
They're
is.
and they still are now.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything Caitlin Clark touches is gold.
What
What am I missing?
let me say this. And I look, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Randy. I just think the difference in Caitlyn and Angela is pretty much. I just think people come off that Caitlyn's probably more humble and probably is more. What's the word I want to say? She's more
Passionate.
locked in into being what we don't question. I don't well, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't question Caitlin Clark. Far as I know, she's working on her game. I know
Yeah.
what she represents. Far as trying to do something for the WNBA. I just look at Angel Reese like I mean, you just heard me rant about her. Far as I like her, I wish she would put basketball at the top of her priorities instead of everything else. That's my only knock on Angel Reese. Now I can't speak on everybody else because I see all this ugly, stuff that's being said on both sides. I don't care for that. You'll never see me dwell in that. Um, I agree with you, Randy. She does, in a sense, she does, get a raw end of the deal. Far as how ugly people are nowadays. It's one thing to talk about somebody how they play, because I think like one of the reasons she did the me bounce thing, she's like she's gonna donate that to cyberbullying. I can't knock her for that because she's getting cyberbullied. Like we can honestly sit here and say she's truly getting cyberbullied. Whether you like her or not, she's going through a form of bullying, and I think people do need to realize that.
I
Absolutely.
think all
And
athletes go through some type of bullying. I
It's
think that
different. No,
just
this is
come with
different.
it.
This is different. This
Yeah, I agree.
feels a
Yeah,
little.
yeah, yeah. It's different. I'm just saying, like, but for her, I think her acknowledging it may be the problem. I
Exactly.
but
think that
I think she's
I
fighting
think
fire
that
with
she,
fire.
yeah, you're not
I
gonna
think she.
win. I don't feel like you win with
Some hurt
social
people
media.
Ben.
Yeah,
It's not. That doesn't make her a bad person. You're a product, but you're a product of your own environment, and I just think the hurt that she's receiving, she's just trying to make the best out of it. Because, like Randy pointed out, all she should have said was, "Well, man, y'all gave me a great idea," instead of her, because you can hear the anger in her voice, but she's trying. That's why you couldn't understand her, Neil, because she's trying to
she,
balance anger and turn it into something and make it out of something. And you see it. I wish she would just understand that and just baby girl focus on what got you where you are now, instead of worrying about the perks and everything else that comes along with what you want. I can't knock Caitlin Clark for what she has or what she's accomplished. That's where people get all wrong.
Mhm.
She's jealous, and she's jealous in a sense, I'll say it.
Yeah.
But the easiest thing to do, go to work,
Yeah,
bust your ass, go bust some people ass on that court and make something out of yourself, and the support will come.
Yeah,
yeah,
but at the same way, I just want to say, Swift brought up she is acknowledging it. So
Mhm.
part of that is the immaturity that she has, and she's a young player. She's just fresh out of college, professional ball player now, trying to make money, trying to make get wins and all that. But one thing I know is that people out there on social media, the trolls and the haters, the only way you get rid of them is not acknowledge by not stopping to acknowledge them, because no matter how well you,
Oh, I don't
no matter how
know. I
much
think
you
mm,
do, those guys won't stop. They just the haters and trolls live on attention for themselves.
Oh yeah.
If they don't get
yeah.
that,
yeah.
they shrivel like little
They-
mushrooms into the ground.
when you address them, you just make their day.
Like
You
you
kind
feed
of
them
like,
the weed.
Oh
oh,
Feed
yeah.
them the
oh,
weed.
They
I'm
take the
there. I'm
Well,
in
time out to
there.
respond to little
I'm
old me.
no,
right. You
okay. Let me throw a
Exactly.
scenario at you guys. There was a famous clip. Like I keep watching this all the time because it makes me smile so much. And uh, Markel Fultz, he was struggling. He was in and out. He was in Philadelphia, and Charles Barkley on the NBA on TNT. Uh, he specifically called out the trolls, saying, "You sit at home in your grandma's basement with your drawers on," and and he's like specifically calling out on the trolls, right? And I don't think like what can a troll say to combat that? And to a small degree, I think that's exactly what Angel Reese has done. She has capitalized and potentially made a moneymaker after getting trolled. I think it's I now I don't know if this movement is actually going to generate revenue, but if it does, I think it's a win-win. And another thing as well, very quickly, is that I think a major problem with hockey and how it does not garner a lot of attention in the US is because they all have a vanilla, boring attitude. And quite frankly, Caitlin Clark has a boring attitude. I mean, I think that if you do mix in somebody like an Angel Reese, and these days, like I could appreciate the fact that hockey does not gravitate to you guys as much to a guy like myself, but guys on the Florida Panthers who won the championship 2 years in a row, they have characters. They have a guy, Paul Bissonnette, on TNT, and he has this loud personality that is garnering a lot of attention. And I think that that's exactly what the WNBA needs. Mm-hmm. It's been close to 30 years, and it's been crickets until Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have gotten into the league. So, I mean, yeah, you do need your professionalism in Caitlin Clark, but I definitely think you need a real show person, a villain, if you want to call Angel Reese that. I think you definitely need Angel Reese around.
I don't think Angel Reese is the villain type. She's too emotional.
I mean, she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to want the title, but if you have
that's
people,
what I'm saying, to play into their hands per se. Because she was crying. I think it was like a month ago. Her teammate had to come out.
She's a woman.
I know. I'm saying like, don't play. She's too emotional to be a villain.
She's a woman.
I'll come back.
Caitlin Clark is emotional too. You just don't see it because it's not. She doesn't get the kind of perception Angel Reese gets. But now, let me say this about Caitlin Clark real quick, because I don't think people understand why these other women are going after her. Like, I'm with protect Caitlin Clark and all this, but Caitlin Clark be on that court talking shit.
Oh yeah.
She be talking big piles of it too. And it's cool with me. Like, she hit a 3. Y'all can't F with me. I done seen it.
Yeah, she did against the Sun, the Connecticut Sun. She hit that 3 on that girl. That's when she was hype, boy.
And she been toasting that girl since college. I be like, I love it though. It's feisty.
Yeah. I know. I say this. I just hope more women like Asia Wilson get the attention they deserve, because I mean, she's been a phenomenal player in the league for quite a few years now. And I think she warrants more attention than what she's in actuality getting, because she can play.
Right.
For sure.
She definitely should get more attention than what she getting. But I hope everything works out well for Angel Reese at this point in time, because the haters never leave. They always watching.
You know what I want? I'm gonna say this.
What's that?
I want to see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on the same team.
Right.
Ooh. That'd be fire.
That would be crazy.
That would. That would end everything. That would end it all.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be good for ratings. That'll bring everybody together.
Make sure they're in the final.
That will end racism right there.
Yeah.
Oh, when that's gonna happen? The LA Olympics. That's when it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. And they will become best friends, and the rest is history.
That's
all right. We're gonna go overtime real quick. All right, Shedeur Sanders got 2 speeding tickets, and within a week's time for going over 100 miles per hour. Neil, do you think that's an issue for the 5th round pick, Shedeur Sanders, to get 2 speeding tickets going 100 miles per hour, knowing the history of the players speeding in the NFL?
Well, certainly didn't learn from his mistake the first time, I guess. But as someone who has received multiple speeding tickets in life, I can't really talk too badly about a guy who knows what the heck kind of car he's driving. I mean, personally, it shows me that as a professional now, there's a certain level of discipline that I'm sure his father has drilled into him to a degree. He's come up the right way. He's had the right mentor. Although that being said, Deion Sanders had a little history with cars and speeding as well, if I do remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's prime junior, or he wants to be. And so, but I do think that he's got to learn quickly that to be a true professional, you have to learn from your mistakes, and you can't be seen as a repeat offender in some of these things. And I think he'll grow up. A couple times, probably just saw that open Ohio roads and just wanted to burn rubber a little bit, but got caught a couple times and didn't think that the cop was hiding in the bush over there, and he was. And so maybe now he'll be a little bit more cautious, because third time, it may not end as well. Let's just say, and that goes just from within the organization as well, how they see him, because don't forget, he's fighting right now for a spot. It ain't guaranteed for him. He's fighting for it, and you got to put your best foot forward. You're not prime yet. If you are, a little bit leeway you get for this sort of thing, but you don't get that yet. You haven't earned it.
Flowers, if you're the Browns coach, man, how will you address Shador right now?
I'd be hard on him, but not too hard. I would just remind him how he got here into the organization, and that he doesn't need any slip ups to sway anybody in any means. Look, I'm with Neil on this. I've had maybe 3 speeding tickets in my life. So I'm not gonna be the one to sit up here and say, well, he's doing 100 and a 70. I mean, yeah, don't do it. But I say, I guess I'll go more into depth with that. Like if he was drinking like Henry Ruggs, you know what I'm saying? If that was a added layer to it, as far as him doing wrong, I would have more to say. But I am with Neil as far as Shador needs to understand, you know, or read the room. That's probably the better thing to say. He needs to read the room, man. You're a 5th-round pick. You're not guaranteed a spot on this team. You need to do everything positive. You need to always have a foot forward and doing everything that you do, because any little thing can sway anybody to not, you making that 53-man roster. And honestly, this could come back to haunt him. I have to be honest, because like I said, nothing's guaranteed with Shador unless he just comes out and kills. Training camp coming up in a month, but he has to be smarter. That's why they pay quarterbacks all this money. They expect quarterbacks to make the right decisions. Like if you're making bad decisions with speeding tickets, hell, they probably gonna assume that you're gonna make a bad decision throwing a pass.
Right. Randy, man, you think people are being too hard on the kid?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's speeding tickets. It's not DUI. It's not beating on your girl. It's a couple of speeding tickets. I mean, like Neil said himself, like I was getting my feet wet with speeding tickets, and I was rolling around in a '96 Ford Escort. So, I mean, who knows what kind of toy Shador's got? He's probably got like the top of
Bentley.
the line for exactly right. And he's got a lot on his plate, and I think definitely like Flowers was alluding to at the end, like if he does have a great camp, and if he can get some consistency going with Cleveland, like this is going to be absolutely forgotten. I think a lot of people do want to see Shador slip up. Whether you loved his pops or hated him, I think that a lot of people would like to see Shador fail, but I don't think this makes any difference at all. A couple of speeding tickets, we've all been there, so no big deal. I do hope the kid has a great camp and actually could do something for Cleveland.
Right, because like I said, a lot of people do want him to fail. I feel like he definitely should have been smarter than going 100 miles per hour on the road. Too many eyes on him. Like I said, 5th round pick. He got a lot to lose. I mean, like I said, he dropped in the 5th round, so he definitely got a lot to lose. And he can't give people ammo to come after him or the coaches to look at him some type of way. He should be flying underneath the radar, locked in, ready to get to work and make a name for himself. You can't ride your dad coattails all your life. You gotta branch out, and this is this branch out moment. He gotta make a name for himself, go on the count, kill in count, and make the roster. Because, like I said, stuff like this, it come back and bite certain players. So he need to be thankful that he went to a Browns organization. They clearly believe in him. That he has a chance to make things right and just be more conscious, man. I know it's been having a sports car and everything. You being young, yeah, I get it, but it's time to be smarter, time to be more mature, and time to put in some work. Go ahead.
I just want to throw one name out, just see if y'all catch what I'm trying to do here. Dak Prescott.
Well, you talking about that fight?
Year. Not the fight. Past him. See, that's another thing. See, rookie year. He gets a ticket right before he goes to training camp in Mississippi. Remember, DUI, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
He's pleading with the state trooper. Oh, the state trooper like, I don't want to do it to you, but I got to do it to you. Dak Prescott was just fine.
Yeah.
There you go. So, man, guys, thank y'all for joining us. Man, it's been a blast. Can't wait we need to do this more often, be honest. We need to do this more often, more matches.
I enjoyed Neil and Randy, man.
No, we had a blast. Thank you so much.
We gotta meet up more. I know everybody's schedules is different and everything, but all seasons here for the NBA. I know y'all guys talking about y'all gonna talk about soccer and some baseball. Y'all Blue Jays?
Neil's not the biggest soccer guy in the world. I mean, he could fit right in with you guys with football. A hell of a lot better.
Yeah, Neil, anytime, bro. We going right into the football season now.
Ready.
I could talk about
some football for sure.
I could talk football on a high level sort of thing, but Neil and I will definitely catch up with NBA free agent signings, NHL, maybe. Yeah, see what's going on in everything else in the world of sports.
Yeah, you know what? The 2 weeks after the season ends is always wonderful in the NBA these days. I look forward to this 2 weeks greatly every year.
We need something to talk about. I want to talk about knee bounds and stuff like that.
We got the draft and free agency coming up, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. I can't wait. I love it, man. They already count down the NFL Sundays, Neil. I think what we had. How many more days? 70-something?
Something like that.
Yeah, man. It's time is flying by.
Give me the training camp, and I'm alive. I'm telling you.
Yes. We got Hard Knocks. I think Hard Knocks is with my Bills this year, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, Bill, you're a Buffalo guy. Okay.
Oh,
he's a Buffalo guy. I'm. If I had to support a team, sorry, Swift. I think I'm gonna go Buccaneers, but
no, man, no, leave him alone. You better look, Randy. I'm giving you a chance to join the team, cause Tyler Shook, man. He taking us to another level. But
no, that would be like Neil. What about seeing the Raptors in New Orleans? I guess that's the closest NBA town to Mississippi. Is that right, guys?
Well, Memphis. Who knows? Memphis might not even have a team. They keep shooting up places. So
talking about moving it to Nashville, right?
Yeah, moving it where?
To Nashville?
They need to move it out. Yeah, that'd be better. Like, move it out of Memphis. I know Stephen A, he got a lot of flack, but I know we didn't get a chance to talk about that, but Stephen A got a lot of flack for saying that. But
is Nashville closer to you guys than Memphis?
No, Memphis is closer.
Memphis is closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Nashville would 9 hours, 10 hours.
No. Nashville from Jackson is like probably what 7 to 8.
Federal.
So you might be about 8.5 to 9, maybe where you at.
Yeah.
Stephen A didn't get enough flack for playing solitaire during the finals.
Right, man.
You should have got some flack for that, man.
Yeah, wasn't it KD that said something about it?
KD posted it.
He said, "Oh yeah,
was it KD?
No ball."
KD, man. Is he the NBA's Angel Reese?
Not
When it
at
comes to the
all.
social media.
All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining us, man. We'll be back next week with another episode. And thank y'all for support, like, and subscribe, share with family and friends. Go over to Voice of Fans Canada YouTube page and give them sub and show them some love also, man. We appreciate y'all. We out of here.
Peace.